The whispering walls. It was an old house, the kind that creaked with every gust of wind and seemed to groan in the dark. Laura had inherited it from her grandmother, who had lived alone for decades before passing away. The old woman had always been a mystery, her life shrouded in rumors and whispers. Now, standing in the dusty foyer, Laura felt the weight of those stories pressed down on her shoulders. The house had an unsettling stillness to it, the kind that makes every little sound feel amplified. Laura tried to ignore it as she unpacked boxes, her footsteps echoing off the bare wooden floors. As night fell, the shadows seemed to grow long and sinister, stretching across the walls like fingers reaching out. It was around midnight when Laura first heard it, a faint whispering that seemed to seep through the walls. She dismissed it as the house settling or the wind playing tricks. But as the whispering persisted, growing clearer, she could make out snippets of phrases. She's here, not safe, and they know. Laura's heart raced as she tried to rationalize it. The house was old. Maybe there were hidden pipes or some kind of old ventilation that was causing the sound. She decided to investigate, determined to put her fears to rest. She wandered through the house, the whispering growing louder as she approached the basement door. The air grew colder, and the whispers became more urgent. Laura hesitated but forced herself to open the door and descend the creaking steps into the darkness. The basement was filled with old furniture covered in white sheets, and an oppressive silence greeted her. As she moved further in, she noticed a strange pattern on the wall, a series of symbols scratched into the wood, old and faded. The whispering was now a frantic chorus in her ears, each word tinged with desperation and fear. Laura's flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced across the room. She turned it off, trying to listen more clearly, but the whispers had stopped. The silence that followed was almost worse. She felt a cold breath on the back of her neck and spun around, but no one was there. Then she saw it, a figure standing in the corner of the basement, barely visible in the darkness. It was the shape of a woman, her features obscured but her presence undeniable. Laura's breath caught in her throat as the figure took a step forward, the floorboards creaking under its weight. Laura backed away, her heart pounding as she stumbled over a stack of old boxes. The figure's whisper was now a mournful wail, pleading and sorrowful. Laura turned and ran, racing up the stairs and slamming the basement door behind her. She leaned against it, her chest heaving as she tried to calm her racing heart. In the days that followed, Laura tried to make sense of what she had seen. She scoured through her grandmother's belongings, searching for any clue that could explain the whispers and the ghostly figure. Eventually, she found an old journal, its pages yellowed with age. It spoke of a dark secret. Her grandmother had been part of a ritual meant to protect the house from malevolent spirits, but the ritual had gone wrong. Laura understood now. The house wasn't just old. It was haunted by the very spirits her grandmother had tried to keep at bay. And as she read the final entry, she realized something even more chilling. The spirits had been waiting for someone to inherit the house, to complete the unfinished ritual. That night, as Laura lay in bed, she could hear the whispering again. It was softer now, almost soothing, but she knew better. The spirits were still there, their presence lingering like a shadow. And as she closed her eyes, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, that the walls of the house had never truly been silent, only patient.